We were very cautious in designing the suits to not stray from the original too much, but at the same time add elements that would make it fresh and make it modern.
There's something about the practical effects you can get and achieve that work really well with the Predator creature, and we didn't want to get away from that. There's just something that feels more real about it being there. Again, you wanted to feel like we captured these guys and put them on this planet to film them for the movie. You didn't want it ever to feel like an effect.
The first day the Predator showed up was something very special. I mean, I remember the first day we had an actual Predator on set. It kind of hit us all that, oh, wow, we're making a Predator movie. Robert had secured quite a team here, so I was able to communicate with, of course, the production designers and the visual effects supervisor and the visual effects team. We were able to start, discussing concepts and ideas for the dogs and the Predators themselves.
We've worked with K&B and Greg Nicotero and those guys for so long. We have such a shorthand, There's just, they know how we work. I think most shops would have run for the hills. I mean, we prepped this film in 10 weeks. How do you go from 0 to they shoot 1 with that much work is astounding.
It was one of those things where we looked at the schedule and we just thought, God, how are we going to pull this off? Every single piece had to be created from scratch. It wasn't like you could use a hand mold or, oh, there's a creature claw over there. I mean, every single dreadlock, every single piece of jewelry, every mandible, every single element of these creatures had to be created from scratch. And we had literally, I would say, between 12 and 13 weeks. And we ended up doing between the dog creatures and there was another large alien that we created, plus multiples of each of the predators. We ended up doing 15 or 16 different creatures. Robert Rodriguez and Nimrod really were specific about wanting our classic Predator to be sort of referred to as the cassette tape and the new Predator as the iPod version. So it needed to be sleek and elegant and fierce.
We didn't have to go that far off the reservation, but we found a balance, I think, that would appease the hardcore fans, but still, get them excited about what's to come.
So there's 3 main super predators, and we're calling them berserkers because they're crazy. This is one of our current hero, Black Berserker. He's super black. He's the coolest super predator in the jungle. And then we also have a more kind of technical, streamlined version 2.0 guy. We've got a lot of talented individuals with a lot of different ideas, and so for those to come together, we're trying to deconstruct their individual concepts and build something that would be a super concept. That's the brainchild of everyone who's been working on this for the past 3 months.
I had ideas of bringing the armor closer to the body and sweeping the dreadlocks back and elongating the head a little bit so that it wasn't quite as square looking, but was long and lean. And it's not always bigger is better. I mean, we really wanted to keep them sleek.
That was good. The head lull was perfect, sir. One thing in this Predator film that I don't believe the other films touched upon was the actual hunting culture, that being trapping, flushing, and driving. So the Predators have different techniques that they use in their hunting, and their look is influenced by that. We're going to be seeing a few different kinds of monsters and a few different things that we haven't seen before.
It's not even defined in the script, but through the course of the build, the first thing I said is, we need to define the characters of who these 3 guys are. The masks are what we see for most of the film, and they have a lot of personality. So the Falconer had a specific mask design, and then the dog handler had these tusks that he had taken off of one of the dogs. And then Mr. Black had this weird sort of alien jaw that was incorporated into his mask. So each one of these guys has a different personality. The suit is only as successful as 2 factors. You have to add in the performer, and then you have to add in how it's shot. And Jula has made everything look absolutely breathtaking.
Anytime you show a predator in a wide shot running around, you're taking a lot of risks by doing that. So we tried to compose it in a way where we were able to maintain a sense of mystery. I learned a lot in the process, and it was very difficult as far as time, and because you do have prosthetics and you have practical explosions going off, so we wanted to achieve quite a lot in a relatively short amount of time. When you're working with people like K&B and Greg Nicotero, who built the suits, you could just sit back and enjoy the ride. You know, they do such a great job, and a lot of the times as a filmmaker, you're trying to fix things. You know, you're trying to hide a bad something, you know, with lighting, or adjust a performance with a cut. You know, there's a lot of tricks that you can incorporate to make something stronger. But in this case, with Greg's suits, you could literally just put the camera on it, and it was just awesome.